Hello, and welcome to the Cryptocurrency News channel. If you want to join me on my live stream, check out the links in my description and comments below. Live stream every day besides Sunday and holidays. So if we actually look at the Shelley timeline, which Charles actually gave today, we have specific dates. So basically, we're here at the end of May. Earliest pioneers, that's the friends and family. That's already been done. That was on time. Second cohort, that's probably on time as well. And the public SPO testnet and faucet, that's going to be first week of June. So next week, you should see the public testnet and faucet. And yes, there will be a faucet. So the Shelley testnet wallet will be available the following week towards the middle of June. And besides, these are basically timelines and dates that you can actually look forward to see if we actually hit it on these weekly timelines. After the Shelley test wallet is available, the hard fork combinator test will actually begin. And this is the mainnet candidate. And then like towards June 30th, that'll be the balance check test. And on June 30th, that will be when the Shelley code is actually released. So that's actually the release of Shelley on June 30th. And then like on July 1st, they'll begin transitioning the EOL or legacy SLs, and then they'll release a Shelley code backup in the first week of July. Then there'll be a hard fork, and that actually is the end of the Byron Shelley transition. Byron will no longer exist. So towards the end of July, it'll be full on Shelley. But Shelley, the code will actually be released on June 30th. And then they'll start the transition period, which will be throughout June and July. But Shelley is actually going to be here come June. The beta testnet is actually going to be completely released towards the beginning of June. And then the hard fork combinator test and the balance check test. And the balance check, once that's done, that is basically when Shelley is actually going to come. The July and throughout July, that's mainly going to be for the exchanges to actually get on board, and that'll take a while. And I expect Shelley to be released by early July or end of June, and I expect the exchanges to actually start with the staking by early August. So the ITN rewards are going to be available. So for those of you who are staking on the testnet, you guys got more than half a year to stake, 9 months to stake actually, and those will become available at the beginning of August. And the first staking rewards for the Shelley era will actually be on August 18th. So this is all laid out. So it is actually going according to the timeline. The code release is actually going to be on June 30th. That's what I've always said, end of June. And then they'll transition everything over. That's going to take basically a month. And the actual, like when you can actually start developing on Shelley and all the stake warts are going to be available, that's going to be July 29th. But Shelley is indeed going to come on June 30th. So that's excellent information. Hopefully they can keep this timeline, and that is the rollout plan. Now that we have dates, hopefully we can induce a gigantic FOMO for Shelley. I actually expect these first staking rewards to take Cardano price even up further. And then like we'll have Gogan hopefully in either Q3 or Q4, and that will be the beginning of the true Cardano era, if people actually believe in that. I'm not really sure if I really believe in like the Cardano era, but I do think it'll be a really good mainnet that people will actually develop on. I don't think it'll like dominate completely the market, because I don't think any coin's going to completely dominate the market. But this is big news, and these are the dates that should be met, because you've had 5 years to meet them. So these dates should be met. It's good to see this kind of timeline. That's quite excellent. In other news, Samsung is actually partnered with Gemini, and they're actually installing, I think, Gemini on Samsung phones. So they're partnering with Samsung Electronics to allow users more easily trade and store digital assets on mobile phones. Gemini is the first crypto exchange to let US and Canadian users of Samsung's blockchain wallet view balances in their wallet app. Customers wishing to trade will be directed to Gemini's mobile app, but won't have to go through another login to start buying and selling. So they're integrating Gemini directly into the crypto wallet. That is awesome news for Gemini. Tyler Winklevoss and his brother are kicking ass, and I think this hopefully will take Gemini to new levels. Gemini is very small compared to Coinbase, but maybe this partnership with Samsung will make them bigger. So maybe if you can buy Gemini stock, I don't think it's public, but if you have the chance to buy some of that Gemini sweet stock privately, that actually might be a way to go for you. So Samsung's phones hold 18% of the global market, which is pretty good, which is on par with Apple. So like they have just as many customers as Apple. Maybe not in the States, but around the world they have just as many customers as Apple. We're not talking about Android altogether. We're just talking about Samsung. And They're actually talking about using digital coins to buy game sessions or game items such as digital cats and stuff in certain games. So this is really big. This could actually impact the app market by a lot as well. So that is the news with Gemini and Samsung. I also want to talk about like with Trump's executive order thing, like is decentralized social media the wave of the future? And I actually believe yes. Now, I don't actually know if like right-wing conservatives or Trump is going to like that because when you actually have decentralized social media, you actually can't shut things down. So if people are like berating you or criticizing you in each way, you can't issue an executive order to get them to shut down if it's decentralized because you can't actually shut it down. So obviously, like him, like every other politician, they don't really care about censorship or not. They basically just want censorship of things that are anti them. But once like things that are pro them actually get censored or their ideas get censored, they don't like it. But the thing is like with decentralized media, you can actually have people saying anything and you can't actually censor or delete them. So if someone says a lot of bad stuff about Trump, he won't like it and he won't be able to like issue something to actually delete it, and people will be able to read it. So I'm not really sure if he'll like it, but or him or other politicians will like it in the future. I'm guessing like him and other politicians in the future won't actually like it. And you won't really have anyone to sue for libel in that case because you might not be able to define the person. You won't be, if it's decentralized, you may not be able to sue the company or the platform. So them litigious bastards are going to have their work cut out for them. But I actually think it's the wave of the future. I personally think like it's kind of like a middle finger to all the people that want like censorship on both sides. And I do believe it'll become very popular in the future. Now, advertising wise, it's going to be really hard. So you're going to need an economic system in there for people to actually generate money off their content. Because advertisers are going to have are not going to want to advertise on certain videos. So you're going to need a donation system to actually work. I think that's the biggest hurdle facing like decentralized content. You need a monetization system for content creators to keep creating content. And without the advertising, it's going to be very, very hard for content creators to actually want to create content. So if you can actually get a donation model to work like Coil or like Brave, and I think Brave or Coil could definitely be the answer. That would be like the thing that could definitely transition the internet over, and I think it definitely would be for the better if we don't have to worry about advertisers and advertising revenue altogether. Because otherwise, we're gonna have to try to find like advertisers for our own videos, and that's like extremely difficult. So that's why I think like decentralized content is the future, decentralized social media is the future, but we got a long way to go because we have to like shake off the advertising habit and not be at the mercy of advertisers. So that is the news for today. Let me know what you think, like and subscribe, and hit that bell notifications button. Thank you and have a nice day.